All right, so we're in our Kitzur, Siman number 10, Halacha number 2, CF2. Okay, so we continue with our laws of Tefillin. And it says, the earliest time that Tefillin may be donned in the morning is when the light, it is light enough that he can see a person with whom he is somewhat acquainted from a distance of 4 amos, and recognize him by the light of the day. So 4 amos, commentary says it's from 6.3 to 7.8 feet. So we usually say 8 feet, right? So it's pretty close, from 8 feet, not too close, but pretty close. And you can recognize a person that you know, like it's not your friend, like your friend or somebody from your household. For sure, you know them, how they walk, how they move. Like that's not that. So we're talking that you know some, you don't even know this guy name, let's say, right?
Question.
Yeah.
So let's say it's hard to measure it nowadays, not because of, let's say, lights, but because of let's say, because of the city lights and everything in Manhattan, the sky is much brighter at night than it is, for example, in Mexico, where it's much darker. So how can we still measure this today? Because at 4 o'clock at night, because the lights in the sky now, you can see someone from 8 feet away for sure. So can we still measure this today?
Today we will go by the calendar. We have myzmanim.com, and it says exactly the earliest time for tzitzis and talis. But if you, let's say, you're right 100% what you say, but if you're somewhere in the woods and you don't have this, you're camping wherever you're in the lodging, wherever in the woods, so that would be very applicable.
Got it.
Like no street lights. Okay. So and so basically we said that this light should be enough for him to recognize that person. Commentary number 17. According to some authorities, this time known as Meshiyakir begins at 40 minutes before sunrise. 40 minutes before sunrise. According to the others, they're approximately 60 minutes before sunrise. Okay. One who had no choice but to begin daven before this time and don't Tefillin and the talis and Tefillin before Meshiyakir, before this time, with the 60 minutes or 40 minutes, before beginning Psuki de Zimra, can recite the blessing of talis and Tefillin once Meshiyakir arrives between Yishtabach and Kaddish, preceding Baruch Hu. Just 1 second. So one more time. Okay. So here's the thing. So what they're saying. So the proper time, you just look at myzmanim.com and you know exactly when the earliest time to put. But if you had no choice, for example, for many years I didn't have choice, had to be very far away in the office. I was like going to for morning support. Had to be 8 before 8 a.m. I had to be in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to take 3 trains, walk to the train, 3 trains. Okay, so it's a big deal. So of course, many times I would start before the allowed time for talis and Tefillin. So I would put talis and Tefillin without blessing, and when the time comes, as they say here, before beginning Psuki de Zimra, he can recite blessing on talis and Tefillin. Okay, so if before Psuki de Zimra, so meaning these songs, right? So he can say, if not, between Yishtabach and Kaddish. Okay, so after Psuki de Zimra finished, it says Yishtabach, and then Kaddish, and then they go to Shema.
Okay, Shema. A pretty general question. So you'll see why this is on topic. So when you go into shul, let's say it's recommended you have to say, let's say, a verse and then leave the shul, correct? Let's say, if you're going to call someone, you need to go inside, or it's raining and you're waiting for the rain to stop. Now, when you put it on tefillin, it's customary for people who do kiruv, for them to put on tefillin, say Shema, then that's it, right? But to get the mitzvah of tefillin, do you need all you need to do is say the brachas, or do you need to say Shema or Torah?
No. Brachas is enough. Even without brachas.
Got it.
Even without brachas, you got the mitzvah of tefillin.
Got it.
Okay, but Shema, Shema, it's like you combine two mitzvahs.
Got it.
Like because in Shema you say about tefillin, so that's the proper time to say it. You're right, 100%. Yes. Okay. Only after one has done his talis, does he put on his tefillin. So basically, before we continue, so one more time. So you can start praying. Technically, we're going to learn. It's something this chapter, like even at dawn. Like dawn is much earlier than sunrise. At dawn, you start praying. So that there is counted. There is no problem. But it's not time for tefillin and talis. So even if you put it without blessings, you say blessings after this time arrives, and you're allowed to speak. Basically, that's the bottom line. Okay, so one more time this sentence. Only after one donned his talis, thus he puts on tefillin. So talis first, then tefillin. The mitzvah of tzitzis, talis, is performed more than of tefillin, because the mitzvah of tzitzis is more frequently performed. Since it happened both during the during the week and Shabbos and Yom Tov. Okay. In a contrast, the mitzvah of tefillin is performed only on weekdays. This is in accordance with established rule that when faced with two mitzvahs to perform, one that applies more frequently than the other less frequently, the one that applies more frequently is performed first. So it's a very important rule, and let's try to understand what it says here. So the secular logic would tell you what is less frequent is more important. The holidays are more important than weekdays, correct? Holidays, but it's not true with us. So whatever is more often is more important than less often. You understand? So Shabbos is more important than Yom Kippur, right? And so they say you have two mitzvahs that you have to do at the same time. So if you can do it different time, we're not talking about. So now we have two mitzvahs that the time came to do them both at the same time. So you put talis more often, right? If you're married, so you put it on all of the weekdays, on the Shabbos, on Yom Tov, on Yom Kippur, on all of these holidays. There is no problem. So it's more often, but tefillin you don't put on these holidays. You understand? So talis first, we give priority, respect, and then to tefillin. Okay, commentary on this. Another reason that the talis is done before tefillin is that the person should ascend from a lesser to a greater sanctity. So it's also like Kabbalistically, so we always go from a lesser to a higher sanctity. So that's why it's very not recommended, based on this rule, it's very not recommended to skip in your prayers.
Got it. So let's say you only have a chance to do one mitzvah, talis or tefillin, you still do tefillin, right?
Yes. Yeah, of course, yes. Okay, so we said that. So one more time. Another reason that the talis is done before tefillin, that the person should ascend from a lesser to a greater sanctity. The holiness that a person reaches upon tying a tefillin on himself is greater than that which he reaches by covering himself with talis. So that's answer to our question. So the holiness, because it's a name of HaShem on you, right, on your body, so it's totally different from talis. Okay. Talis. He therefore begins from with the lower level of the talis, ascends to the holiness of the tefillin. And as we said, so tefillin on the head is a higher level than tefillin on the arm. Okay, continue. However, one who does not presently have a talis available to him need not wait for a talis before putting the tefillin. Rama 25:1. Okay, so which makes sense. So just because in ordinary circumstances you have to put your tefillin, your talis first, and he does not have talis for whatever reason, just put tefillin, continue. As we said, those are two separate mitzvahs.
So I have a question. Let's say you put on, you didn't find your talis, you put on your hand tefillin, then you magically see your talus again. Do you put on your head tefillin first?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Then got it.
Because as you asked last time, so on one hand it's you get in two separate mitzvahs. On another hand, it's a continuation of the same mitzvah.
Got it.
So Sephardim goes by this second opinion. It's continuation of the same mitzvah. That's why they say only one blessing.
Got it.
Blessing covers this and this, and if they speak by mistake, they speak between hand tefillin and head tefillin. They say, well, whatever you say, al mitzvah tefillin
Got it.
on the head. But basically, yes, you just continue doing what you started.
A little bit different of a question then. So let's say for the same way that you see the head tefillin first, you're supposed to cover it, then put on the arm tefillin, correct? Because you're supposed to do first mitzvah first, right?
Yeah. Okay, so let's step back. We're going to get. So basically, when you put you have to be very careful, right? How you put them in a bag. So if you always put it in the right order, you're never ever going to make a mistake.
Exactly. So my point is, let's say you see the arm tefillin first. You just see it laying down.
No. What's up? You don't take from the bag to tefillin. You keep them in the bag. So it would be like, I see what you're saying. It would be some kind of disrespect to put it aside. But when in the bag, you put your hand into the bag and you take out the right tefillin. That's it. There is no disrespect.
Exactly. So I'm saying, let's say the tefillin is in the bag. Then you take out the arm tefillin. You before you didn't see the talus. Then after you take out the arm tefillin, then you see the talus. Now, am I supposed to cover the arm tefillin?
No. It's good, perfect question. So whatever mitzvah is in your hand, you're not allowed to pass it.
Got it.
So in this case, you reverse the order. If it's not the proper under normal circumstances, but in this case, you don't reverse the order. You put tefillin on a head, and then you put talus. There is no problem. But technically, I'm just saying, technically, it's very inconvenient to put on talus when you have tefillin. Because it's like poking into your arm. Okay, good questions. HaShem. All right, so continue. An exception to the rule above. Okay. In a case when one encounters tefillin before talus, exactly your question. Okay, we got this. Okay. In a case where one encounters tefillin before talus for whatever reason, right? Or even in the bag. So for me, like I keep it in two separate bags. Like one bag is for tefillin, one is bag for talus. Even though and then I put in a third bag. So I mean, you with me, I cannot make mistakes. I mean, they're different size, different shape. Okay, but some people they put everything into one bag. So it's very possible. So let's say he's talking in a shoe, which he should not do. Whatever, he sleeps this time, last time, hopefully, and he's reaching to his back, and he takes that tefillin. So the talus is there, but he was not paying attention what he was doing. You understand? That's the different situation.
So this is a very small amount of topic. So let's say you have the tefillin, and then you take out the head tefillin first, okay? Now, let's just say that the bag actually, no, let's say the bag is there, but is it still possible, let's say you have to go off of leniency, is it still possible where if you close your eyes and put on the arm tefillin, because you no longer see the head tefillin anymore?
No. When you put the head tefillin, so
yes.
you put it aside and you put arm tefillin first.
But don't you have to cover the head tefillin with let's say
you can cover, you can put it back into the bag. Okay, yes, you can cover, but it's not like halacha. So halacha is that you put that one first.
Got it.
Okay. So one more time the sentence. The exception for above rule. In case where one encountered the tefillin before the talus, even if they are still in a pouch, right? He must put tefillin first. So exactly our case, like everything in one bag. So I have, as I said, I have 2 bags. That is impossible for me to make a mistake.
Wait, actually, I just checked. So if we look at Halacha 5, it says that, at least in my book, maybe not in your book, it says that someone must pass over the mitzvot, put the head tefillin down, and then cover it with something, and then put on the arm tefillin.
Okay.
It says that in yours too, correct?
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So then, let's say one doesn't have a covering. Or does it make a difference if one has a covering or one closes his eyes? Does it make a difference?
I think covering for so it's not like you don't see you. It's like no, not like that you don't see it, but this head feeling that does not have this embarrassment.
Got it.
Same as we do with challah on Shabbos, right? We cover challah because we say blessing on the wine first. Okay.
Got it.
All right. So let's continue. So same sentence. We didn't finish the first sentence. Okay. The exception to the above rule, in a case when one encounters the tefillin before the talis, even if they are still in a pouch, he must put on tefillin first, and afterwards wrap himself in talis. Okay, as written in Hayadam. Okay, continue. For one may not bypass an opportunity to perform a mitzvah. So that's exactly what we said, right? In any case, when one intends to do 2 mitzvahs, he may not bypass the one that presents itself to him first. So if he does 2, so and this is in his hands, so he cannot put it aside. Okay, commentary. However, if one is not planning on doing one. Sorry. However, if one is not planning on doing one of the mitzvahs now, for example, if person wants only to put on tzitzis for whatever reason, right? He needs not to perform the other mitzvah tefillin first, even if he encounters it first. I'm not sure what would be the example when he does not want to do the second mitzvah. I'm not sure. When he would not want to put tefillin, I don't know. Maybe like my explanation would be maybe he feels that he would need to go to the bathroom, so he does not want to take off tefillin and stuff like that. Okay, so he can start without tefillin and put it back, put it on later on. There is no problem. Okay, so he may not bypass the one that presents itself first. Number 20. To encounter the tefillin does not necessarily mean that one touched them.
I have a small question. So you said someone doesn't want to. So a small part of that, because I know that before we were talking about it, it's a big thing for someone, even if he's at his house and then there's a minyan at the shul, for them to pray at the same time. So let's say someone's tefillin is 5 minutes away from the shul and he's going to start praying later. Does it make more sense to go get the tefillin and then come back to the shul and pray later, or to start praying and then put on the tefillin after they stop the service so that he can at least pray with them together?
Okay, so it's a good question. The way I understand, we're going to check later on. It's in this volume, but I think the mitzvah is to pray with the Minyan, the Shemona Esrei. That's the biggest mitzvah.
Sure.
Right? So basically, if he does not have time, let's say under pressure, so he would go to the shul, pray with them, and then after they finish services, so he puts on tefillin, says Shema, and now he would be able to say Shema with tzitzis and tefillin. There is that's the way I understand. It would be preferable solution to that situation. All right. Okay. So the commentary. So I said to encounter that feeling does not necessarily mean that one touch them, even if one merely pass his hand over them. So it doesn't. You see, that's encounter means. He's a subject to the rule. So meaning do not pass over the mitzvah. Okay. For it is written in Shmos 12:17, you shall safeguard the Pesach matzahs. right? This verse is vowelized to read as ha-mitzvos, right? So okay, so matzah and mitzvah, so it's like same letters. You shall safeguard mitzvahs, right? We thus expound that just as we must guard the matzahs, there is a bake them without delay. So the matzahs, we know that we have to bake in 18 minutes to ensure that they do not become comments. So too, when we encounter the mitzvah, do not cause it become chomets. Meaning the chomets that it is laying around that the guy is pushing off. That's not proper. By become chomets by delaying the performance for a later time. Okay, commentary. Okay, so this is see Rashi and Shmos. Okay, 1 second, let me check.